Hello there, and welcome back to Corey Loses 4ly continuation of our Thrawn's Revenge 3.2 preview playthrough as the Eriadu Authority. In the last episode, we took Fondor, we surrounded Kalis, which is separating us from our deep core capital of camp, even though we have our real capital of Eriadu down in the south. We got our second legitimacy group, which was some stormtroopers, when we took Fondor, but we are starting to build up some of our additional capital ships. We have enough money for a torpedo sphere. Do we just get a torpedo sphere, even though it's not quite one of the patron ones yet? Or do we keep it for a special patron occasion? I think people want the torpedo sphere to show up. So maybe we do the torpedo sphere. We'll do a torpedo sphere. We'll just throw in a cheeky torpedo. Do we have another shipyard that can handle it? No. We'll do it. We'll do it. Keep for a special. Alright, people seem torn on this. Let's see.
Enemy fleet approaching.
They're about to invade camp. You can't just invade camp. That's my planet. I have a hypervelocity gun on it. I wonder if we can get in time with this. Kinda gotta go. Okay, hello, Posh Pterodok. We can hypervelocity, but we can't hypervelocity gun 7 capital ships. Sadly. We have a capital shipyard of our own, but it's not enough. I don't think even our other fleet can win this. We might lose camp. Would be very sad. Oh, and there's a raid fleet coming in. Maybe we do have this.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is fun stuff.
Reporting. What are your orders?
I'm surprised it didn't get invaded earlier by the Empire, but Maldrud only has the one planet here, so this is all we got. We have a goal in 2. We have a capital shipyard. We have an HV gun and we have a raid fleet. If I'd been able to hit his engines, that would have been answer.
Yes, Commander. Ready.
Let's command group 1 on the bombers.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Command group 2 on you. For our real units, command group 3. Shit that I've literally never done in an episode before. Oh, we got channel point prediction. Okay, so you guys can do that. That's good. Thank you, Trenta. How big will this crash be? Oh, that's... Thanks, CSA. We need to kill their bombers. Come on, CSA. I need you. I need you now. Kill them over here.
Orbital command available. Cruiser standing by.
Okay, we don't want to use power to engines. The bombers are actually splitting off. So that's good for us. Look at them go. It's a small raid fleet. It won't be able to do as much actual damage for us, but as far as pulling them away goes, like, what more could you hope for? We're gonna lose some ships because I've moved them too far up. But let's see if they'll go over this now. Kosh is still... Okay, you guys, you're coming up now, thank you. Those bombers. We still got our little raiders. We might be able to kill both of these. Ooh. Their anti-fighter there is stopping our bombers from doing anything. Just shredding them as they come through. Maldrude, you were supposed to be my faction. Does all the time we've spent together really mean nothing? It might have been a better play to stay on the secular with that. Shields are down, so taking down some of the extra turbo lasers on that is probably worth. Okay, they're not killing an ISD, but they're distracting one, which is just as good. Guys, keep on that. We got another one in here. Golan still has some shields. We'll try to leave heavier weapons alive. Maybe take advantage of their accuracy against us. Going in this far, not great either. This is more than I reasonably expected. Because the raid fleet is really helping us. Like, we might even be able to hypervelocity gun Kosh first. The shields are coming down on this. You guys get back where you once belonged. Thank you, recusants. You are once again a credit to my fleets. Just not the way you'd normally want to be. Nope, wait, leave the heavies. Kill the mediums. Kill the spare. Let me, like... Okay, we need one more to kill Kosh. You guys need to just move back. Just move back. You don't want that. How many of these do we get? We only get the one spare Vindicator, which is now at the end of its life.
Charge laser cannons. Copy. Advancing on target. What are your orders? Current commander here. Moving to sector.
Point defense goes Burr, and which one are you? Mr. Raider 2. Both doing some work this battle.
What are your orders?
You think you're playing the big ship faction, and suddenly it's all little ships. Did I miscount the ISDs? Did I misread the number?
Current commander here. Orbital command available. Space station under attack. Excellent shot.
I think I might have misread the number. I think they had some, or I thought they had some in reserve.
At your command. Ready. We're on the move. Station ready.
Only 3 ISDs in the secular? Okay. For some reason I thought it said 5. I'm not good with numbers.
Fire. I'm on them. All enemy craft.
But a hypervelocity gunshot should kill Kane. Or, Kosh, not Kane. Sorry, wrong warlord. That's so embarrassing for you, I apologize. But you're dead anyway, so... Here, stay back, because there's heavy bombers, but... You want to make sure they at least don't get to the Golan, but I don't want to die to the customs either. They're far back.
Reporting.
So Vigils come back in. Let's get the ion cannon off of this guy. Are you both still alive? There. You don't have the best anti-fighter, but you have some anti-fighter.
Station ready. Our target priority is the laser cannon. Orbital command available. Yes, sir. Those laser banks are the primary target.
Closing on target.
Traiton's technically the leader of the Greater Maldruid, but the Greater Maldruid in the mod is also the Federated Pterodach Union, so it's both of their forces.
What are your orders?
It's one of those factions that kind of renames, and the brothers are both kind of equally in charge. They actually change who's in charge of which section as they go, because it starts off with Traiton, the Outer Rim, and Kosh in the core, and then by the end they've flipped. So both are classified as leaders for legitimacy and other purposes. Like, if we could dynamically rename factions, then it would change the Federated Pterodach Union later on, but there's no way to do that, and it doesn't really make sense to make him not count as a leader for the first bit and then start counting later. It's just, it's easier to keep it consistent. But yeah, this should mean that that GM is less legitimate.
Charge laser cannons.
At your command. Target locked. Receiving message.
Reporting. Attacking. Come about.
Like, we can change some of the places where the names are put, basically the text that we make up, but we can't change text in like where it actually calls the faction. That's all just whatever it's set in the code.
Reporting.
I'm pretty surprised we won, even with the... If they hadn't split for the raid fleet, this would have been a complete loss.
What are your orders?
You're standing still, so we gotta hit you first. Nice try.
Understood.
Only took one projectile, get good.
Reporting. Come about.
Oh. Yeah, most of the Warlord stuff ends up coming from source books. There are very few stories where they actually factor in, other than like Zinj being mentioned a lot and stuff. We lost Cupid and Prancer, but they can be rebuilt with the rest of the reindeer. Essential Guide to Warfare and Despoilers of an Empire, which is like an online supplemental thing for Essential Guide to Warfare, are where they get fleshed out some more. But it's still not a huge... You know what? We're gonna do it. Okay. We're gonna go through the ISDs, get Eriadu Warlord Star, and we already had Starhammer. We will rebuild it later, but the other one's a chance first. So that'd be pointy side forward. I guess I could have just done up here. So let's cancel some of the ones off of Lewis Van. Cancel pointy side forward there. We'll get it up on camp.
Constructing unit.
They may not attack immediately. Let's check our charts for a second here. Empire of the Hand 6 and 7, New Republic 11 and 9, so they haven't changed since the last little bit. Zinj 4 and 12, Empire 13, 15, Eriadu we're 17 and 10 now. We were at 3. Maldruid 16 and 12. and a star 7 and 16. They're gonna last a while, as PA always does. Maldrude 37. They dropped a fair bit, I think. We will want to take Kaelist once we can actually go through here.
Star Destroyer
And
reporting
encircle on. And on Eriadu we can build some. Well, you're gonna go into this
in.
fleet.
Heading out.
Biggest ships here. The allegiances are here as well. We'll get Black Wolf. What are the conditions for getting Storm Commandos? Storm Commandos are one of the legitimacy groups, so you'd have to unlock them the way you've unlocked, or the way we've unlocked, like Lumaya or the Stormtroopers here. They're one of the random groups you can get that way. I forget what tier they're at. I think they're tier 3, but I'd have to check again. Which one of the Grand Admirals hold Corellia? Grand Torpedo? Danitapeda is the Grand Admiral over Corellia. Alright, we want to get now Stormbringer. And what are we for parts and not great. So Endor is going to get both of those. Or actually, I'm going to cancel those. I'm going to save the, what, 10 credit or 50 credits? Get them both over here.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Yeah, there's, all the legitimacy groups are randomized which ones you get for any unlock. I guess we could assault Corellia and, do a nice egg battle. It'd be a shame if someone else did it before us. And that's a good planet to have. Like, Corellia is a nice one to have on your side.
Fallout.
So let's get Saskatoon Berry Pie. And you always want to send your battle cruisers after a torpedo sphere. What's actually there? I forget. Lumaya, do you want to figure that out for us? We'll send our ground forces over because they don't need to be in this section.
Heading out.
Away.
Put them on Endor to discourage an invasion, but we'll keep the other ones going over this way.
Let's move out.
Enemy fleets coming to Yagdol.
Let's go.
Not likely. I'm not sure what level of system spy Lumaya has, but I think she might at least show space units. Or number of space units.
Tactical battle imminent.
Nice try, New Republic. We found a weak spot in the Empire's defense. Wait, no, not like this.
Enemy forces ahead. Reporting. I copy.
Rudolph,
Right away.
Gladiator to command.
Red-Nosed Allegiance.
Reporting.
What are your
That
orders?
Kraken's threats couldn't dossier this. Can't leave because of a nice Been well immobilizer for us.
Maneuvering.
Star Destroyer standing by.
Comlink active.
Andy, the Star Destroyer reporting.
Roger that.
It looks like he's
Reporting in.
not gonna come.
Moving out. Yes, Commander.
Yeah, Thalassa is famously weak against Nebulons. So Kraken 1v1 me, bro. You'll win. The Rhino.
Awaiting your command.
Awaiting orders. Heading out. Awaiting your orders. Reporting in, sir. Carrot Commander here. Gladiator at your command. Turbo lasers are firing, sir. Awaiting your command. Fallout. I copy. I copy.
Our space station is under attack.
Reporting. Moving to sector.
No, it's not. Like you're just fucking you're straight up lying to me. Nothing over there.
Warm up. Ion engines primed. Awaiting orders. Acquiring.
They're not retreating because we have an interdictor. They are not capable of retreating.
Enemies in range. Your command, sir.
They would get stopped.
Let's move out. Let's go.
They in fact need to take out that interdictor before they can go anywhere.
Andy, the Star Destroyer reporting.
Copy. Advancing.
And they will not
are
succeed
your
in
orders?
doing so.
Carrick en route. Reporting in.
Alright. I guess we better get Kraken.
Keep
Uh-huh.
going.
I copy. All fighters attack.
Form up. This way.
They're making us do all the legwork. I guess that's what I get for having the interdictor.
Right away. Destroyer here.
No amount of strategy or tactics is gonna
Reporting.
win you this battle.
Carrot Commander here. Charge laser cannons. Open fire. Attack that target. Attacking target.
Taking fire.
Reporting. Star Destroyer standing by.
Crumple, 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 crumple.
Intercepting.
My scopes are jammed.
Sir,
Attacking. Targeting. Firing.
No more Kraken.
I'm on
Engaging the enemy.
Time for them to reach even deeper into their command pool.
We've got them on scopes. Attack commencing.
I've got him.
Hey, what are you doing?
Enemy forces sighted. Star Destroyer reporting in.
I got one.
Thalassa dies off the auto-resolve. It could happen. Couldn't happen. Iron Kraken has been killed. I have been meaning to do a new video showing off some of the other death clones that Rhino's been working on. It was supposed to happen in December, but I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and do it. Alright, we can see the ships. Cool. So we have Pitta in his torpedo sphere. We have a nice interdictor. This is the... yeah. 2 other capitals, VSD. Alright, I think we're good. I think we got that. I might throw in this other capital for him. But I think we have other economic heroes. I'd love a legitimacy hero to give me some economic stuff. Really, I don't. Just the buildings.
Construction complete.
So, Eriadu Water and Sewerage Authority. And we are going to go and attack Corellia.
Order confirmed.
Course
We're
approved.
back with the ground stuff. She does have a Nebulon B. But that's not going to be... That's not going to Nebulon be our focus right now. Yes, Hades, I am playing the upcoming 3.2 version.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Do you have a tax agency on camp? We don't. Is it worth putting a tax agency on camp? Barely. Yeah, I won't do it. You know, it's still... It'd take a while to pay itself off, but it's still probably worth it. And if we have Corellia, it's going to be worth putting a trade port on Typhera as well. When is it coming out? There is not a release date yet. So it will probably not be like 5 months.
We've located the enemy.
Choose your reinforcements.
So that's what I was talking about earlier. The proton torpedo hardpoints are along the edges, but they'll all shoot from the core part in there. You have the little holes for it.
Understood. Moving to
Dasher,
sector. Carrick en
Arquin's
route.
Tins. I'll pause for this one. Eriadu Warlord Star. We'll keep Pritick out of it for now. Throw in Rudolph as well.
Heading
A bit further up. And
Yes, sir,
Soundwave
on the way.
Superior.
Heading out.
Yes, Dickus.
Setting
Going
course.
somewhere for some missile redirection. Too little gravitas.
Let's go.
Fafnir.
Heading in now, sir.
Vixen.
Yes, sir. On
Man's
my way.
Torp Sphere.
Moving out.
PV1.
Understood.
And some more.
Moving to sector.
At maximum unit capacity.
Yes, Commander. Attack. Fire. Awaiting orders.
Commander, they're hitting us.
So that is Sky's new model for the Torpedo Sphere.
Where we go.
Where are the others? I'm losing.
Awaiting orders. Target the engines. Yes, Commander.
Gonna go for that one.
Awaiting
The Allegiance.
targeting their weapon systems. Nowhere to run.
Shield's almost gone.
Falling out of formation.
Reporting in, sir.
Okay, you guys have got to focus over there.
Commander.
This is gonna be rough.
Reporting in. Open fire.
Reporting in.
We can't get through it.
Weapons ready. Roger that. Attacking primary
Go for that first. Powered weapons on that ISD. You're gonna go for this middle ISD.
Destroyer here. Weapons ready, sir. Heading out.
Let's see if we can stop any of that.
Switch position. I've got it.
Position. Roger that.
Probably still a bit too far. Oh, it's now changing. It's just drop it on.
Formation.
I've got him.
Okay. We're gonna keep killing everything but the torpedo sphere.
Sir, I've got him.
Enemy craft.
Yes, sir.
God, it's really just fucking them up here.
Gladiator at your command.
We also don't have any engines left on the Allegiance, so we can't go any further in. Right now, the thing I'm really concerned about is our lack of fighters and anti-fighter.
Reporting. Attacking.
So we really need this one IPV to carry some heavy weight for us.
Taking fire.
Gun them down.
Sir,
Someone was asking if Zero Command is going to be their own faction. They will be a non-playable faction. They'll be on the map. The territory they have already will be turned into an actual standalone faction rather than being rolled into independent forces. Now that we have more faction slots to work with, they'll be, because they used to be standalone and they had to get rolled in.
get behind
But for new playable factions, actual playable factions, the Havens will be unplayable. And all the existing factions, or all the existing Warlord factions this release, have been given entirely new rosters. So they're effectively new factions.
Yes, Commander.
Targets in the enemy Hana base.
Kill the broadside. We're just getting absolutely fucked here. This is not a fleet to use against a torpedo sphere.
The lasers are our target. Opening fire on the torpedo.
Gladiator at your command. Heading out.
Cruiser standing by. We're in position.
Copy target locked. Gladiator Star Destroyer reporting. Destroyed their fight today. Targets in the enemy Hana base.
Ready.
We really need to kill their fighters. Don't have much to kill their fighters with. We might even have to like hang back for a bit to allow our ships to just switch over to anti-fighter duty.
Destroyer here.
Garrett Commander here. Garrett on route.
We're gonna have to zoom the Arquitens up further. There we go. Pita is dead.
Reporting
Will hopefully mean
He's headed your direction.
we can turn our attention a bit more to some of these bombers. They don't actually have that many bombers left over here, so we can probably kill that without losing too much. And I'm gonna send Delvardis up more.
Where'd he go? Reporting. Charge laser cannons.
Yeah, I think we've actually killed all the bombers, so we're safe now.
Gladiator Star Destroyer reporting.
Nowhere to run. Go after them. Falling out of formation.
We did when we first did the announcement of the Warlord playstyles, it was all one video covering space and then another video covering ground. But one of the things that I'm going to be doing with the 0.2 versions are factional guides for both mods. So I will hopefully have videos with the release of Fall of the Republic covering the Republic and CIS, and with Thrawn's Revenge covering the Warlords.
Reporting in, sir.
See how quickly we were able to actually tear down that, even without too much anti-fighter once we had anything else dead. That would not have happened.
Destroyer standing by. Star Destroyer reporting in.
All the fighters.
Squadron here.
And that's before
What are
fighter
your orders?
reductions. Like proper statting of carriers. Not really necessarily reduction. Reductions in that carriers will take up more pop per bomber squad in general. Some, like the Lucrehulk, actually end up even because we used to overcharge for some of the reserves. Now we have a much better calculation for that as well. Dabby's asking, is the A6 going to be buildable in TR or is it just going to be in Fall of the Republic? I don't think we've got it buildable in either mod currently. In Fall of the Republic, it's turning into a mission reward, and in TR, I don't think it was put as a core part of any faction roster. I may be wrong on that. It'll be used for like story rewards as well when that's a thing in TR, which it isn't quite yet. But
Awaiting your command.
Reporting. Cruiser here.
Narrowing position.
Our target priority is the laser cannon.
We're being targeted.
there's some places that it shows up as like starting forces, like what we had at the start of this GC.
Heading in now, sir.
Then I just promptly lost it, so I'm not going to be rolling over the galactic conquest with just an A6, sadly.
Commander, they're hitting us. My scopes are jammed.
I mean, if the roster announcement has it in the EA roster, then it is in the EA roster. Like, again, I could be wrong on that. I could be misremembering. I don't remember all the rosters offhand, but I don't think it's part of it. Starting forces are not necessarily representative of the buildable rosters.
Let's go. Enemy sighted.
I've changed a few of them in the single stream conquest and in the GCs I've played a little bit, but those were mostly just to show off the new stuff. Because like we're redoing pretty much every galactic conquest in the next version in 0.3. It's not something that we have the resources to go through and do right now with 0.2, because that'd be going from 90% of the mod to redoing 100% of the mod.
Standing by. Enemy forces sighted. Cruiser standing by.
That Carrick thinks it's saving itself by doing this.
Orders, sir. Instructions received.
I think we lost a frigate or two, but not too much.
Target sighted.
Guy Lancer, please. Please.
Roger that. Attack. Moving to that area. Moving out. Heading out.
Alright, Carrick.
Fall out.
Stop hiding.
Open fire.
We are victorious. We lost Fafnir and Vixen.
Order acknowledged. We're moving out.
Okay. Yeah, I will be moving some of the stuff from the bottom row to the top row for the patron unit so we can build a bigger variety of the capital ships. It's a very capital heavy roster, obviously, so a lot of patron units ended up being capitals. Will EA still have the shield interceptors? Yeah, it'll be a thing that you can swap between. Because there's some upsides and downsides to it. Either way. So that'll be a thing people can change as they wish. It's not something that you can change on like a per ship basis. That would be a lot of hassle, a lot of extra variants and stuff. Just like, it's not worth the...
Copy. As you wish.
that level of granularity. The Maya should actually probably go up that way.
Roger that. Let's roll. Yes, Commander. Ready for orders. Destination ahead.
Awaiting orders.
Anyone gained the Design Consortium's build pad options? Build pad options have not been discussed in any real detail in a while. It's something that we want to revisit on everyone at some point, but I can't speculate as to what that will ultimately look like.
Firing.
I copy.
Copy. Right away.
Reporting.
They only had 3 units here, so...
This way.
Yes, sir.
Roger that.
mostly just gonna crawl on through.
Over there. Form up.
We want to get up to the edge so that once they come up here,
Transport here.
bad things don't happen.
Transport ready.
Maya is actually on her way. Despite my explicit instructions to be on her way. Alright, this seems like a job for main cannon gun power.
Attack that target.
I copy.
You guys are not on your lunch break.
Scanning target.
Okay, I'm not bringing my Lancets in. That is an AA turret. I know better. I would never do that. Not even close. It'll be a good place for us to defend from camp in Corellia as we decide where we want to go next. Maybe even the Empire of the Hand.
Planetary control achieved.
We can then get up to Neroon. Circle the core. I don't know. Maybe we'll take out the core itself. But Hakasi is definitely one to take, so then maybe we don't want to defend at camp. But that, I think, is going to do it for today. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'd ask Twitch as well, but I'm not going to be able to record the votes. But if you're watching on Twitch, you can go and vote on YouTube as well. Let me know who you want to kill first, the Empire in the core, or do we want to go towards the Empire of the Hand? You can leave your votes in the comments. I will read them, and then I may decide to ignore them. But we can either head for Coruscant, or we can head up through Neroon, which will involve at some point going back here. We're not going over here. We're going to ignore that for a while. The New Republic might be able to cause some problems for the Greater Maldrude, who have unfortunately not taken Kashyyyk yet either. They've taken a lot of other planets, but not Kashyyyk. So hope you are all enjoying the playthrough so far. I'm going to get ready for the next stream by moving some of the units up so we can build some torpedo spheres and some other stuff. Have the Assertor and the Bellator properly named for the next one as well, as we are going to be building one of them soon. Thanks again. Hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.